Good evening, YouTubers. Welcome back into another edition of Astros Recap Mid-Season Report Cards. So, here I am back home now, finally. Feels like I've been gone forever. Obviously, I talked to you on last Sunday night to recap the week. Today's actually Friday night. It's 10:59 p.m., so it's 1 minute away from 11 here. June 30th, but the Astros have played now 82 games this year, so 80 left. Now, the plan was to do this last night. In fact, I think I may have told you that Sunday. But the hotel I was at in Texarkana, which is where we stopped, was not a good place to set up a... I didn't have a setup. I couldn't set up anywhere to actually do the podcast. So, ideally, and I've done this the last few years, I do it exactly after 81 games. That was not the case. So we're here, as I adjust my camera slightly here. We're here after 82 games. So I'm one off, basically. And the Astros have played 4 games this week. I'm not going to talk about those. I mean, that might play into my grades a little bit here, but I'm mainly going to wait for Sunday to recap the week, which is what I usually do. So, anyway, we're here, back home. It's Friday. I do work tomorrow, so... and Sunday, off Monday, but I'll probably be doing my regular recap Sunday at work, basically, during work. The way I'm going to do this, though, is I have expectations of players going into the year. So my report card is going to be based on what I expected of certain players, and then we go from there. So I'm going to give you a quick grade. It's going to be the first grade that really pops in my head, and I'll explain why I grade them what I grade them. And I'd love to hear your comments and how you think my grading system has been. Obviously, if you know me, you know I'm super hard on the Astros. That's how I do things. I am super hard, sometimes harsh, on the Astros. But that shows I care, right? So anyway, so we're in a 26-man roster. A few guys sort of in and out, obviously. Like Alvarez, for instance, I'll grade him, but he's on the IL right now. Brantley hasn't played. Artis on the IL. Garcia's out for the year. You've had Belak bounce back and forth. Ronel Blanco, a few other guys. I mean, Sean Dubin in the bullpen's been, called up for the first time. They've had, Brandon Belak's been in and out, along with Ronel Blanco. The new guy, Bly Madras, now. So some of these people I will not. Some players, like those players, will get incompletes. Not all of them. I'll grade some of them, but just to give you a breakdown of how I'm just setting this up for you. So we'll start pitching wise with starters. And Framber Valdez, obviously the A's going into the year, I give him a B+. Now he's been good. Don't get me wrong. He has answered the call as being the ace. So you look at the ERA, it's very good. Now, his last start against the Cardinals on Tuesday was not very good. The only thing I have an issue with, only issue I have with Valdez is his win-loss record, which really isn't his fault. Like, as a pitcher, you can't control your offense. So, the ERA is very good, but B+. If he had more like 9 or 10 wins, or even 8 or 9, it'd probably be an A. But B+, I think that's fair for Valdez. And I want to see if I can pull up numbers here. I didn't set this up before I got on like I should have. But I'll go back to the last start he had. Wasn't amazing, but he got the loss. But Framber Valdez is 7-6 on the year. ERA is at 2.49. I mean, that's a good ERA. 2.49. That's ace status right there. He's got 110 strikeouts and 105 innings. A 1.05 WHIP. But B+ as the ace, I think that's a pretty good one. Javier, I'm going to give him a B. Now Javier has a good record. It's kind of weird here. Javier struggled his last 2 starts, so that plays a part. But Javier's numbers Let me get it here. This might take a little more time than usual. He's 7-1. That's a favorable that's a favorable win-loss total, considering he's got a 3.72 ERA. He's actually gotten a lot of run support, but you'd expect more than a strikeout per inning, or right at that mark. He's got 78 strikeouts in 87 innings. Whip at 1.17. B? Did I say B? I'll say B minus on Javier. Win-loss record, like that win-loss record is what Valdez should have. And then Javier should be more like 8-7 or whatever we just saw with the 7-6, 8-7 with yeah, it really should be a flip-flop win-loss record, but B plus for Valdez, B minus for Javier. Way I look at it. 7-6 was Valdez, 7-1 for Javier there. And then we move forward. JP France deserves, I'm giving him a B plus as well. I think he's been a lot better than, like, he's been sort of underrated, I feel like. He's a guy that came up when Garcia got, who got hurt first? I think it was Urquidy got hurt first, yeah, because it came in back-to-back games. Urquidy got hurt, then Urquidy, then Garcia. But JP Francis came in and done a very good job. He's 3-3. That record should be better. He's like Valdez, doesn't get the run support. 3.13 ERA. Like, I mean, that's JP France has been very good for this team, and I think even if the rotation was fully healthy, he'd still play a part, whether it's bullpen or whatever. But he's not a big strikeout guy. 44 strikeouts in 60 and third innings. Whip is 1.21. He was fantastic yesterday. 7 shutout innings, 4 hits, walked 2, struck out 2. Not a big strikeout guy, but he gets the job done. So JP France, B plus. As we move forward here, now I'm going to skip Ronel Blanco, and I'm going to go to Hunter Brown. Hunter Brown this year is 6-4 with a 3.62 ERA, 97 strikeouts, 87 innings, 1.20. I'll give him a straight B. Hunter Brown, record's not bad, 6-4. ERA could be a little bit better, 3.62 could be better if you ask me. Strikeout numbers are good. I think as the season goes on, he'll get better. I really do. I really do. But right now, B. B. No plus, no minus, just a straight B. And then you move forward. I can't give people like Urquidy and Garcia grades because they just didn't give me enough of a sample size to grade them. Brandon Bielak, I'm not going to go through his numbers. I don't have them in front of me here. That's going to be a harder one to pick up. But I'll give him a C minus. Wasn't absolutely terrible, but also wasn't good enough to stay up here. And Ronel Blanco's getting the chance now. And Blanco, I'll actually give a C plus. Hasn't been terrible. Pitched today, actually. Got his first win of the year. He should have won his last start. His last 2 starts have been good as sort of the 5th or 6th guy in the rotation. So, but the ERA is a little high, 4.73. That's not super, anything to write home about. But Blanco's not a guy they're relying on. They're just trying to get innings and quality work. Like today, he went 5 innings, 3 earned runs, pulled him a little early. I mean, I don't blame it, but yeah, 39 strikeouts, 4 innings, 1.53 WHIP, but the ERA needs to get lower, 4.73. Let's not forget, Ronel Blanco also started the season in the bullpen. And then he got moved back to AAA, and now he's back as a starter. But he's not a long-term answer. He's just doing what he can with what we're working with. So, yeah. But I'm not. What I give Blanco? I just forgotten. I gave Bielak a C minus. I can't grade Urquidy or Garcia. They just didn't give me enough. I say C plus. C plus sounds fair. I would say for block. I see C plus. C plus. Yeah, bullpen. Now, I gotta really go through these guys because I always miss one or two guys. So I gotta pull up the website here. We'll work from closer and then work our way back. So Presley, B minus, and the reason it's a B minus is he had that one slip up. He had that one slip up a few weeks or a month ago, whatever it was, where he was really struggling there, and that's the reason. I mean, he's blown 3 saves this year, so that's a little high. Halfway through, you do the math. If he blows 3 more, you blow 6 saves. He's probably, if he stays on this pace, right around 30 saves is what you're looking at, which is good. His numbers, like he pitched today, so I can give you the updated numbers on Presley this year. Let me just get to it real quick here. So we're going back and forth between the internet and things. ERA at 2.80. I mean, I take that. That ERA is not bad. If you keep it under 3 as a closer, I mean, you could be under 2, under 1, and be awesome. But the whip is under 1. It's .91. He's got 38 strikeouts, 35 in the third innings. 2-2 record I don't look at when it comes to closers. In fact, good closers will have a losing record usually. But look at the numbers. I mean, B minus. You know what? I'll just give him a B. Actually, I try not to do this too much, but I give him a straight just B, not minus, not plus. B. I look at the numbers, change my mind a little bit. You move back a little bit. Hector Neris, A. He gets an A. Hector Neris has been the one reliable guy I feel like in the bullpen this year. I look at the numbers. He's got 36 strikeouts, 32 and 2/3 innings, 1.10 ERA. That's very good. 1.04 WHIP. Hector Neris, a guy not high on last year. I've been very happy with Neris. Only one game all year that I actually was not happy with Neris, and that was way back in April when they played the Rangers and he allowed a grand slam. Other than that, he's been as solid as it gets. And Phil Maton's the other guy. Phil Maton also gets an A minus. He's got 47 strikeouts and 40 and 2/3 innings, .81 WHIP. That's very good. 1.77 ERA. Maton and Neris have been the two guys in the bullpen I've been very happy with all year. Brian Abreu, B minus. Little iffy early on, allowing single runs, not being blown up, but allowing single runs. He was a guy I came into this season with high expectations for, and the reasoning for that was, I mean, the second half of last year in the postseason, he was as dominant and as shut down, unhittable as it got. So maybe I put too high expectations on him. Now, that start against, or the outing against LA on Saturday was awful. He walked 3 guys and got blown up. But he's had 2 outings since then, 8th inning both times, crucial games, crucial spots, protecting leads. And he was good in both. Like today, he got a few strikeouts, allowed a 2-out double, but that run didn't come around to score, so good there. But B minus on Abreu. ERA I think is still good. I mean, I look right now, 2.61 ERA, 13th hold of the year. But 58 strikeouts in 38 innings. That's a very good ratio right there. WHIP is over 1.11. But yeah, B minus, just because he has not been. Maybe I had too high expectations for him, but that's that. Let's see. Ryan Stanek. That's C plus. Stanek's numbers aren't that great. I'm gonna give you the updated numbers here. But Stanek, I mean, as of late hasn't been bad, but he did struggle for the first few months of the year. Like the ERA is at 4.21. I mean, you can't really argue that. It's not that good. I mean, he's got a 4.21 ERA, 28 strikeouts and 25 and 2/3 innings, 1.56 WHIP. That needs to be better. So C, what did I say? C. I'll just give him a C. C. Yeah. All right. Here's the one F of. I'm not gonna give a lot of Fs. This is the only F I'm gonna give the entire team. Rafael Montero has been horrendously bad this year. Awful. ERA is near 8. He pitched yesterday. That's the game you actually use him. They won 14-0. But he went in there and actually got through. Had a clean inning, I believe. But he cannot be used in any spot. 7.29 ERA. He actually pitched 2 innings. Didn't realize that. And they were both clean. He got 1 strikeout but didn't allow anything else. But Montero's numbers, God, it's terrible. 7.29 ERA can tell you all you need to know. 1.71 WHIP, 37 strikeouts, and 33 1/3 innings pitched. But he's been awful this year, just horrendously bad. He's got an F. 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 Montero, F. I don't need to think twice about that one. Anybody that thinks differently, if you think differently, you have not watched him pitch this year. It's been awful. Who else am I missing in the bullpen? Now, I could throw in some lefties they've had up and down. Sean Dubin, can't grade him yet. Too small sample size. Seth Martinez, guy I forgot here. I'll get you his updated numbers. His grade's not going to be that great either. He's sort of in the Stanek category, so I'll give him a C. He's sort of the guy they use to mop up, eat a few innings if they need it. He's not a guy they use in tight games. But Martinez, yeah, I'm looking at the numbers. 4.50 ERA. Yeah, he's in the same boat. It's fair to put him in the same boat as Ryan Stanek this year, basically. Just straight up. But again, Dusty does not like to use him in tight games unless he absolutely has to. But 2 and 3, 4.50, 34 strikeouts, 32 innings, 1.44 WHIP. But yeah, C. So CC on Martinez, Stanek, F Montero, Neris A, Maton A, Presley B minus. Who else am I forgetting? There's a few other guys. Abreu B minus. That's about it, I think. I mean, if I go through starters here now, Valdez, Javier, Brown, Blanco, and who's the other starter I'm missing? France. So yeah, 5, and then we went Stanek, Martinez, Presley, Abreu, Montero. Hold on, yeah, okay. All right, I'm getting mixed up here. I don't know if it'll be full 26. It'll be close. But I'm not going to spend all my time counting players here. So we'll move on to the position players now. So catcher-wise, Martin Maldonado, C minus. Again, I went into this year with Montero. Hit me 200. I'm good. I actually appreciate the last few games Montero, with runners on base, has actually bunted, which I do like that part of his game. If he continues to do that. But he's hitting 181, something like that, I think. Gonna look here. 180 on the dot. But bunting is a smart decision. You got runners on base. I mean, I hate to hit grounded a double play, strikeout, move the runners up. Today it worked, and it worked also. He actually had a home run in St. Louis, and he had a double off the wall, so a little better as of late, but still, like, his catching ability's gone down the drain. He's very sloppy behind the plate, very sloppy. I mean, he allows pass balls. He's near the tops in the league. I don't have the exact numbers there. He's not good at throwing out runners anymore. Now, people like him because of his leadership, the way he handles the pitchers. Pitchers love throwing to him. A lot of stuff you don't see behind the scenes that he does. He's constantly studying. Dubon in the post-game interview today talked about, Moldy being up at 3 a.m. while Doobie and, Alvarez are playing video games and Moldy's doing his homework on the next pitcher or whatever it is, or the next lineup he has to sort of find a way to get through. So, but Moldy, C minus, and there's no way he's coming back next year. Like Diaz who I'll get to, he gets an A minus. But he's been very good this year. He's getting more playing time. 274 this year. OPS at 779. It's actually gone down a little bit. OPS isn't a number I really look at. He's got 7 home runs, 17 RBIs, 274. That's an A minus effort for Diaz. Here's the other catcher. Salazar hadn't played enough to give him a grade. Can't do it. Obviously, Abreu deserves a D minus. And the only reason he's not failing right now is because his June has been a lot better. Like, if he can replicate his June into July, August, and September, you'll take that. But Abreu's got hitting 237. That's not good enough. OPS at 627. That's very bad. 6 home runs, 41 RBIs. D minus just because of his June alone. June's been a whole lot better. Of course, it'd hardly be worse than what he was in April and May. It was just a complete waste of time. Also, his defense hasn't been bad. I feel like I've seen him play first base. He's not the best, but he's been able to pick some balls out of the dirt. I got to give him credit there. He's been able to knock some balls down, hard shots at first. So, first base has not been as bad as maybe I had thought. It was early on, but it's been better. So his bat's been a little bit better in June. Hopefully he can build off it, and his defense, nothing to be super upset about. So I'll say that on Abreu's behalf. Second base, Altuve. I'll give Altuve just a straight B. Now, he's still obviously missed the first 2 months, so I'm going off basically a month sample size. And he's also missed time because he was out with the oblique. He tweaked the oblique and was out not a lot of games, but like almost a week. And he was out 3 or 4 days with the heel issue he had. And also Dusty gives him days off because he's still trying to sort of get him into, he didn't have a spring training. He got hurt in the WBC. So, but I give him a D straight up. Bregman deserves a D minus. I'll give him just a straight D. But he needs to be better. He's hitting 249. He's been floating 230s, 240s the entire year. That's not good enough. Defense, pretty good. He's made 2 blatantly awful throws to first base. I won't forget those. But his defense is usually pretty solid. He needs to be better. I don't care that he walks. He strikes out. He pops up. He hits balls on the ground. Again, his average needs to be at 280 for me to start giving credit. Now, Bregman's had good games. He's had good series. He's had good weeks. But he hasn't put together like a solid number of game stretch where he's been very good. And until he gets to 280, he gets a D. He's a D. Kyle Tucker gets a B plus. His average is up to 283 now. The big home run. Him and Alvarez have been sort of the, Tucker's had some struggles this year, so, yeah, that's why it's a B. Wait, I said B? B plus? I'll give him a B plus. I can't be upset with the 283 average, so that's the way I look at that. I know I sort of skipped around there a little bit. Pena, if I go to Pena, I went to the outfield. I'll look at the lineup. That's why I sort of got mixed out of order. Pena is like a C plus. A C plus is like, my opinion on Pena was 250. He needs to be better than 250. You ask me. Like, I need more out of Pena. It's his second year, okay? And his defense has been not very good this year. Very good last year, but this year he's had his mess ups. Fair share of those. Pena is. I look at the numbers. I'm gonna look at the numbers here. Updated numbers for. Let's see if I can find it. Did he play? There he is. 247. That needs to be better. He needs to be hitting 260. 9 home runs, 30 RBIs. He actually had a home run on Sunday, I believe. But, hit me 20 home runs, hit me 260, play your good defense, and I'll take that from Pena. But right now, C+. That needs to be better. Talked about Bregman, outfielders. Alright, so if I look at people like Corey Julks, I'll give him a B+. Majority of the year he's been pretty good. Average isn't, awesome by any stretch. I had Julks numbers here. Let's see if I can get them back. Here, Julks, 265. Can't complain with that average. Guy that wasn't even supposed to make the roster. 6 home runs, 27 RBIs, 12 stolen bases. OPS at 705. That could be better, but 265. B+. Corey Julks. Chas McCormick. Gotta be fair here. Chas McCormick. I'm trying to get updated numbers here for Chas. He played today. A second here. Chas McCormick. There he is. 252 average. 7 home runs, 21 RBIs. B- Chas McCormick. I'll give Jake Myers a 228 average. He's really gone down the I give him a C. You probably would expect that from me, but I have to go off the numbers in front of me, and right now, Chas McCormick is the better player. Jake probably better defender. Chas better at bats. He'll strike out a lot. He'll pop you some home runs, but I have to go off the averages, and right now, Chas gets a B-. Jake Myers gets a C+. Yeah, that seems fair. I've gone through a lot. I'm trying to think here. But people like Greg Kessinger, I can't give him. There's not enough there. I also can't give a grade on Madris. Yeah, can't give grades on some of these guys because there's just not enough. I'm probably missing a guy here or there. And again, I actually want to get some comments on what you think. I'm going to do a quick search here just to check, make sure I didn't miss anybody. Looking at the full roster just to make sure I didn't miss anybody. As I go, again, I can't grade Sean Dubin in the bullpen. Not enough. Diaz, Kessinger, Blamatris. Yeah, Greg Kessinger, can't grade him. Blamatris, can't grade him. Dubon, Pena, McCormick. Mauricio Dubon, did I grade him? I don't think I did. Mauricio Dubon gets an A. And the reason I say that here is Dubon's numbers, he's in 286. But Dubon's not an everyday guy. Now, he's turned into that because we've had injuries, obviously, but Dubon, like we talked about the expectations, they weren't very high. He was terrible last year, but really stepped up. Now, he has cooled off. If you remember, he had a 20-game hitting streak, and he was getting on base and doing all these great things. 4 home runs is actually more than you expect, but he has cooled off significantly. Had a big 2-run double today. And Dubon, as a utility guy, has been very good for them this year, so he does get an A. But I did skip over him. Alvarez, a guy I didn't really grade yet, right? But Alvarez, he's also an A. A-. I wish he was healthy right now. But he was hitting 277, 17 homers, 55 RBIs, OPS at 977. That's definitely A-worthy. In fact, he was leading the league in RBIs. Not anymore because he's been hurt for the last 3 weeks, but 55 was leading before he got hurt. So, but he also gets an A. And he was the 1A last year too on the team. So, yeah, looking around, seeing if I missed. I don't think I did. Yeah, that's about it. So, anyway, 30 minutes coming up on this. Will be a little longer. But love to hear your grades and your thoughts on my grades. Section below. Astros as a whole. Team-wise. 4 back of the Rangers. They've won 3 in a row, so hopefully they can continue to win games. 45 and 37. You spread that out. They're only on average to win about 88 games. That's probably good enough for a wild card spot, but maybe barely. I don't know, man. I don't know. Things got to be better in the second half as a team-wise, but health has been an issue this year. Urquidy's got to come back. We got to get Brantley back at some point. Obviously, Alvarez. If we can do all that, the Astros should win in a 90 game range here, but you got to take down the Rangers, who lead this division right now. So, but yeah, that's my mid-season report card after 82 games. Again, I'll talk to you in 2 days. If I forgot anything, I'll pick it up from there as I have time to think about things. But yeah, I need to wrap things up. I got to work. I got to do some things here tomorrow. Do some things before I go to sleep for tomorrow. But yeah, wrap things up there. 30 minutes. Love to hear your comments. But that is my mid-season report cards for the Astros. And we'll talk to you in 2 days.